Hi, my name's Christy and this is Lazy Owl's Booktube channel. I'm going to review for you some comics and graphic novels that I've read this week. If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy this video. So the first graphic novel that I read this week was Giant Days Volume 9 by Boombox Comics. This comic features three girlfriends who are attending university, and they are Esther, Daisy and Susan. This volume focuses on Esther, who is trying to sort out her living arrangements for the third year of university. Part of this comic also focuses on Esther's relationship with Ed Gemmell. Ed Gemmell has a massive crush on Esther, and this is a pretty light-hearted comic series. It has a lot of humour in it. I always really enjoy these. It's an easy read. I always have a few good laughs reading these graphic novels, and this one was no exception. I thoroughly enjoy reading these. The artwork's great. The artwork is done really well just to add to that humour that they put in these comics, and I'm always looking forward to reading the next one. So this is a definite recommendation for me, and if any of you also love these particular comics, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about who your favourite is. I think my favourite probably would be Esther. She seems to go from extremes to very high highs and very low lows quite often, and I just find her extremely funny. So I really enjoyed this particular volume of Giant Days. Another great first issue comic that I read this week is Dryad, which is by Oni Press. This initially got me interested because it's by the makers of Rat Queens, which I really love. So this was a great comic for a first issue. So this comic focuses on parents who obviously have been living in a city, and they make a journey to move to a more remote location. They have two children. So the mother looks like she has a bit of an elfish look to her, and the father has a bit of a human look. It's definitely set in a bit of a fantasy world setting. So this story, the father is a little bit of a history buff, and he seems like he's a bit more of a scholar, and the mother is a soldier. So the artwork in this was great, definitely reminiscent a little bit of Rat Queens, and the story was great as well. There was a great teaser at the ending to make you want to read more onto issue 2. So I thoroughly enjoyed this particular comic and will definitely be getting future issues of these. Another new comic that's out this week is Strange Academy by Scotty Young. So that's this one here. This is a Marvel comic, and this comic is definitely one that I think is aimed at a younger audience. So a lot of my comics that I review are definitely aimed at adults or young adults, but this one I think would be appropriate for a younger audience. So the story focuses on a school for kids with powers of some shape or form, and they get invited to this school, and really I would say not a lot happens in this particular first issue. It's really just introducing you to each of the characters. The artwork was kind of fun. I can see why a younger audience would really like the artwork in this comic. I think it's too early to tell whether this is going to be a great comic and have a really great story. I tend to go for more of the adult comics, so I'm not really sure yet whether it's going to be one for me, but it's something that I would possibly recommend to your kids, or yeah, I have a daughter who might enjoy this, or my 13-year-old son might enjoy it, because I think this one could be a lot of fun. So if you do want to get yourself a copy, please have a look at the links below and see, or visit your local comic book store and grab yourself a copy of Strange Academy. Another graphic novel that I've read this week is Descender Volume 6, and this is another comic by Image Comics. So these comics are set in a world where there is an ongoing war between robots and basically everyone else. There's a mixture of humans and aliens in the mix in these stories. The stories feature one particular robot. It's a companion robot by the name of Tim21. So this particular robot features throughout all of the different volumes of Descender. So this volume does touch on the origins of the Descenders, which are these massive warlike robots that have massive destructive abilities. And we see in this particular graphic novel volume where they started, the origins of how this war started, why the war started, and the relationship between these robots and the rest of intelligent life, I guess you would say. So I quite enjoyed this particular volume. It was a little bit slow to start off, but once it got going, it was quite good. The story was quite in depth, and once again, all the different factions that are warring within the planetary system and space are after Tim21 and want control of Tim21. So it was quite an enjoyable graphic novel. I quite like the artwork in these, and I'll definitely continue on with these and hopefully get some more copies of the later volumes from my library. So a new comic that is out this week is Mercy by Mirka Andolfo, and this really caught my eye. Just the artwork on this one looked really intriguing, and I liked the premise of the story. So basically this issue starts off with an accident in a small town, and it's clear that there is more going on than it first seems, that there's something sinister going on in this particular story. Obviously, being the first issue, it's difficult to tell just yet if this is going to be a great comic or not, but I really enjoyed the artwork in this comic. And when we got to the end of this first issue, there was a clear teaser for the second issue, and it's definitely one that I want to see where the storyline is going. That teaser was just great at the ending. So this is one to look out for. I think this is another Image comic. You can tell that I love my Image comics, so if you're interested in this particular comic, please follow the links below and get yourself a copy and let me know what you think. This week I read issue 5 of The Marked. So from my last video you might have seen that I had not been enjoying this series as much. This looks like it could be the last issue of this particular comic series. The story definitely tied things up in the end, a little bit too conveniently for my taste. I've never been really a big fan of the artwork in these particular comics, and I definitely, even if they do make more of these issues, I will not be purchasing anymore. It was a real disappointment because I thought that the idea of people with marks that give them abilities was really interesting, and it had so much potential, but it was just so disappointing in its delivery. It didn't deliver in the artwork, it didn't deliver in the dialogue either, so I was quite disappointed, so I won't be purchasing any more of these. Thank you for watching my video. If you've enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified when I post new videos, please click the bell icon so you can receive those notifications. If you're interested in any of the comics that I've discussed, please follow the links below to get a copy of your own. Once again, thank you for watching this video and I hope you've enjoyed.